What is up, YouTube? This is your girl, Killer Rose. Right now, we're gonna talk about the stuff in California that's happening, okay? So, obviously, if you haven't heard, Nick Shirley, he basically went up to these people, the whole Democratic, the co-authors of this bill that they're trying to assign, and it's so crazy. So I'm gonna go and basically break it down person by person of what Nick Shirley basically broke it down into, okay? So we're just gonna talk about it, but first and foremost, I do want to give out a movie that I've seen a long time ago, but it was in my head for the longest time, and it's a good movie. You should definitely see it. It's the quote is no matter what they ask you, no matter how hard they push, deny, deny, deny. And that is by Roderick Heffley, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules. So it's a good movie if you'd like to see it. But yeah, that's my quote for this headline. No matter what they ask, no matter how hard they push, deny, deny, deny. Okay, so we got this down, and we're just gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about my own personal feedback, what this is. And so we're gonna start with Susan Rubio. And she straight up denied it. She said, "I am not even sure what you're talking about," which is Nick Shirley asking her the question about the bill. What does she think? Like, why did she sign off on it? And they're trying to play stupid. They're trying to say, "Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. I never read this bill," but they have. Obviously, by their body language, their demeanor, they're saying it all. And it's crazy. So I'll break it down, all right? So she's a co-author, okay? She either reviewed and signed, or she didn't need to review it. She just signed it off because she already knows what it is. And she just denied it. It's crazy. And so she was like, then she said Nick Shirley is talking about something random, which I said is a bull. Like, you obviously know what it is that Nick Shirley was talking to you about. It's not that hard to say a simple no, but they bring it off, and you can tell right away that they're lying. You didn't have to say all that, but you said it anyway, meaning that you talk too much, knowing that I can definitely tell that you're lying. And it's not something that Nick Shirley just brought it off to his hat, and just say, oh, just something out of nowhere. I mean, the bill is right there in our faces. And Sasha Perez, she looked at the fraud. And my question is, how long has she been in that position where she looked at fraud cases and all the other stuff that she apparently said, oh, I looked at this before. Okay, so what this is telling me, that she is not doing her job, or she doesn't care about doing her job. Because why hasn't she, if she look at fraud issues, why didn't she brought this stuff up until Nick Shirley came into the picture and brought it up himself? She didn't get to step foot in until try to talk with the president or any other official and say, look, we have a huge problem here, which is fraudulent in our own state. She didn't do that. Nick Shirley had to do an undercover, basically, by providing journalism. And it's so crazy how she could say stuff like that, but not doing her job. And so it's insane. And so it's just, she doesn't care, but she trying to act like she does. Robert Rivas or Rivas, I'm not sure. Robert, he just straight up denied, didn't say a word. He was dismissive and defensive. He didn't even like get to talk anything with Nick Shirley to basically give him his insight, because it looks like and it sounds like he just doesn't care. He doesn't even care what the public has to think about this bill. So, and these are all Democrats, by the way, all Democrats, and it's crazy. And then Chris Ward, being accountable to public funds, but signing off a document that could silence journalism. You're trying to be accountable, but no one is being accountable. They're essentially saying we are going to hide any information regarding to fraudulent behavior around a community that we support, which is immigrants. Immigrants who resided the country legally, who went through the process, but who are committing fraudulent acts against our own country, which I believe that should be denounce their own citizenship. I really hate seeing politicians defend and just straight up deny criminal activity. It's so strange. And so Nick Shirley was explaining about the transparency, and so I need to discuss it a little bit more. Obviously, it's so weird how he worded it, but I'm trying to like put the pieces together. But the simple definition is transparency is the operating in a way that is easy for others to see. So like as you see now, I'm creating a video, you can physically see me. So it is to show proof on what others can physically see, and it's crazy. It is so insane how technology it is today. You know, you see it here and again. Transparency. So the transparency in this situation is giving a public the right to know about the decisions are being made in their own states and within their own country. Imagine, with socialism and communism, you won't get that right to know. You won't get to have the right to know about the taxpayer money that's going to organizations and other things that obviously some people disagree with. And it is obviously true. Like, we want more transparency. I want more transparency. I like giving out new information that I could grasp on and basically give insight to others of what they're trying to say. But, you know, is basically giving out facts, information based on facts. Obviously, if you're talking about facts, you're talking about facts over feelings, about facts that basically you give out the information without having to be emotional about it. So that's what I think it really means. But transparency is basically having a public to know about things that are being made, and and they basically have the front and the back cover to know everything. And that's just one simple definition. But yes, I wrote like 3 pages, man. It's crazy. So, oh my god, I cannot stand this woman. This woman was just so obnoxious, and right away it was just a major turnoff. Lena Gonzalez, she says, I have no idea who you are. She said that with what is that? What is that accent? What are you trying to prove here? Like seriously, like, it is so weird. And she she's a complete liar. You a vlogger? Lady, you obviously lived under a rock. You know who Nick Shirley is. And you better know who Nick Shirley is. Nick Shirley met and spoke with the president in October 2025. Through like February to 2026, when he uncovered, another case of fraud. And it is so crazy for her to say this, but listen, Lena Gonzalez, I never heard anything about you. I didn't even know who you were until Nick Shirley basically put out a list, under your name. And unfortunately for you, you never met or have any conversation, any other contact with the President of the United States. But Nick Shirley has been with contact with the President, twice, okay, since last year and this year. And it's so crazy how she said it with full confidence that she doesn't know who he is. But to put it bluntly, we don't know you. We only know you because, and if you're in California, obviously you probably know her, but in my stance, I never heard her name. And she is so obnoxious. She's so rude, and she couldn't say, "Oh, who are you?" She could just say like, tell me who you are, who you with, some people are just too busy to know the other side of the walls. But you gotta know people, especially in a government position. You can't just let things slide, and it's not just a vlogger, it's a journalist. You guys, the reason why you want to pass this bill is because you want to silence journalism. We have journalism throughout the years, the decades. And, yes, we do have technology. We have videos, and stuff to put out there online. It's not like how it used to be, where you actually have to be in that situation, that environment, just to document it. And you have to basically live not just through it, but you have to publish a paper article, and for it to be, widely spread out so people can see and read the newspaper. Not many people read the newspaper today, but if you haven't for a long time, I think you should. You should definitely sit down, have some coffee or tea, or whatever drink and beverage you have, and just take a glimpse at a newspaper. I'm not sure if they do that still, but we should definitely take some time to get some actual newspapers back. I'm talking about news, not just like so mediocre, like, you know what I mean, magazines that are just load of crap that has no value of actually looking at real life, real world situations that hasn't been displayed out in the real world. So that's just me, that's my own opinion. But it's so, yeah, I just could not stand this lady. So Josh Lowenthal, I'm not sure if I pronounced his last name correctly, but he claimed to never read the bill but sign off on it anyway. So I made a joke, so if you laughed at this, thank you. But I said, who is he, Joe Biden? You sign the bill, you pass the bill, and it's a no-brainer. You sign, you literally take the pen that they give you. Here's a pen. You sign off of a piece of paper that says that, yes, I consent. Yes, I understand this bill. Yes, here's my first and last name. You idiot. What do you mean you haven't seen the bill? You know about the bill. You know, it is so simple, but they play stupid so hard. And they're just basically laughing at our faces. And it's so crazy how stupid these people can be. And yes, I'm putting it lightly because I don't want it to be very loud, and I had to apologize later. And it's so crazy. And so this guy, Josh, he's like, well, can you tell me about the assemblies here that you're listing off? So it's like two assemblies: Assembly Privacy and Consumer Protection Committees, Assembly Judiciary Committee, 11-2. So I'm thinking there was a vote there. So I'm thinking 11 people passed it and people denied it, like, oh no. April 14th, 2026. All right. So Said, I can't pronounce it, but or pronounce it right. So El Harare or something. I'm not sure. Her name is Said, and she claims that she doesn't know about it. Oh my God, she's the lady who basically was eating, like, I think like it was like a bowl of salad or something, and she's basically essentially saying that she knows about it, but she doesn't care about the public knowing about this. So she's walking while Nick Shirley is like trying to talk and trying to see like what she thinks about it, because she signed off on it, and she's just there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see a person who is walking and they're on their phones and they're looking down, or they're just obviously busy, and you're trying to talk to them, they haven't, you haven't heard any feedback, that means that they are not engaging the conversation. They don't care about what you're saying. And obviously, you're just a bother to them. This lady was eating a bowl of salad, and she's just trying to distract herself from listening to Nick Shirley. And that's what it is. She doesn't care what Nick Shirley has to say. She's trying to distract herself by eating that bowl of salad. You hog. You are a hungry Helen, and you should just probably put that salad down. I mean, I bet you're that type of person who doesn't even put ranch or any other kind of dressing. You just like to eat a plain salad, because that's how plain your face looks. Sorry guys, that's called bullying, and I'm sorry. But this guy, Isaac Bryan, he's trying to act all cool, like, hey, yo, what's up? And he has the fake phone call when Nick Shirley was trying to ask him the question that obviously he's trying to ask for, the bill, like why he signed off on it. But he's like, he has like a probably like a, looks like an AirPod to me, but he basically touch it, trying to say, oh, I got a phone call, a the most important phone call that he has to answer, and he's trying to fake it off. It was a fake off. It wasn't like, like he was actually talking to a person. He literally just pretended to answer a phone call. You idiot. All these people that I'm listening right now, these are complete morons. And Nia Bonta, whatever her last name is, I guess they got the governor to reverse her decision on the committee to not criminalize sex traffickers. Yes, you heard that right. They are basically defending people who are sex trafficking. And so to not criminalize these type of people who are doing sex trafficking work is insane. But they want to criminalize Nick Shirley for exposing fraud, yet they cannot seem to gather the information and say, yes, we have a big fraudulent problem. They don't want to accept that, because they gotta follow through the agenda that they're pushing, and they're trying to say, no, we like seeing obviously fraud. We know what our positions are. We are getting paid for it. In fact, we are getting paid for the fraudulent behavior that, and the reason what we're getting is that we're getting votes. We're getting votes from these people who are committing fraud, who are getting money, and that are cheating away from the system that we believe that is true. So they're basically like just playing devil's advocate, okay? And it's a lot. It's a lot for me to say, but I can't, dude. You probably need to change your last name. I'm sorry. You probably been bullied as a kid, probably as a high school student. If you're homeschooled, then obviously with this last name, I probably would change it. Legally, I would. And yes, if I was in elementary school and I seen this last name, I think I would have bullied the heck out of this guy. I would have, and many others too. I think a lot of people in high school would definitely target you. And it's so funny, but it's not. But let me read you this name. Scott Wiener. Scott Wiener said, of course, with the last name of all names, that you had to just have that name. Like, why? Who named that? Who would have that as a last name? But he said, I think you're a psycho scam artist. With this last conclusion of this video, if you've come here so far, then I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And it's so crazy, but I'm gonna say it so loud. And you said it to Nick Shirley, so ironic that you said it to Nick Shirley. And you guys are not angry enough with these people, because I am. I'm so outrageous. I'm so outrageously mad and upset that this guy, literally with the last name of Wiener, had to say that he is a psycho scam artist. And so I'm gonna basically give you the definition of what a scam artist is like. If you have more information, then go right ahead and say it. So they're all Democrats, by the way. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. So here we go. A scam artist is who uses deception, manipulation, and lies to cheat people out of their money, property, or sensitive information. So Democrats, they are a true scam artist who uses deception on people, who uses manipulation to get votes, who lies to cheat people out of their own money by using fraud. And obviously with this bill, they want to hide everything from the public. They believe that you, who are a California resident, shouldn't know what your tax-paying money should go to. Even though you're struggling, other people are living off wealthy lifestyles that people, obviously, who are homeless should have at least a decent meal. But now they're still living in the streets. It's gonna get hotter by the time, and you already see in the east and all the other areas who happen to have snow froze to death because of them being homeless and not even using the right resources. You get to pay out of your own pocket while other people can strive and live off of wealth that we should live off of. But are they going to send any money to you or to me? Absolutely not. And it's the most devastating thing to know, is that you would think your tax paying, your money basically, would go to stuff that you agree on. For me, I agree on helping homeless people, at least having a decent meal, a place to stay, to have human decency, and just giving them a hot shower, to give them a safe place to stay, and not having to worry about being in the streets, looking over their shoulders, and making sure that there's no one that are gonna either rob them or assault them by any means necessary to get what they want. And so, I mean, there's a lot of things that I could probably list, but that's just one of them. And obviously, guys, this is just horrendous. These are all Democrats, by the way. All Democrats that are fighting a fight that obviously that they don't care about what the public thinks. And this should make you angry. I think it should make me myself angry, like more angry, and knowing that these people are in power and they don't care about Californian residents that are paying the price of what they believe that is true. And that is by continuing the fraudulent behavior with these people. And I really don't know. I feel like this bill should be like challenged. I really think so. I think a higher up should take a look at this and say, wow, okay, what's this about? And really, it's insane. So that's what I wanted to take part in. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I know it's a long one. It's 27 minutes, guys, but holy moly, it's just crazy. But I'll get into it. It's been a long night, but we'll see. We'll see if I can get another video in. All right. See you guys later. Peace.